Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pick and Roll on the Board YouTube channel, the NBA content division of the Hammer Betting Network. We're back for a brand new week of NBA betting here. Last week of regular season games, so we get a bit of a break with the in-season tournament. So let's try to capitalize on the week that we have ahead. It's been an amazing season so far of profit. It was a winning day on Friday as well. We're looking to do the same today on the show. It is Monday. Typically, we do the big SGPs today. Unfortunately, the slate today is not great. We would rather save the big SGP for a slate where we have a lot more confidence in that pick. So the big SGP, unfortunately, is going to be delayed until tomorrow. I'd say unfortunately, but probably fortunately, we're more likely to get a better position by waiting until tomorrow. That being said, we do have a play for you guys today on the 5 games here. There's some injury concerns. There's some teams on second nights of back-to-backs. But nonetheless, we're going to be going to the Portland Trailblazers and Indiana Pacers for the SGP. Before we do that, want to remind you guys to smash the like button on the stream. We've had some amazing support so far today already. I see lots of great people in the chat. If you have any questions about this slate or anything related to the NBA, feel free to ask away. We can answer them a little bit later on. But make sure you've hit that like button and subscribe for episodes every weekday morning here with myself and Pips, and the additional Thursday show with myself and Kirk Evans. But all of that done, let's talk about the play that we have today. We are going, as I said, to the Blazers and the Pacers. The Pacers have scored a ton this season. One guy who's not been scoring for them is Bruce Brown. We're going to go under 14.5 points on Bruce Brown, and we're going to add on Malcolm Brogdon, 15-plus points and 5+ assists for a plus 100 SGP available at BetMGM. As always with these plays, shop around to see if there's a better price available at your sportsbook. Perhaps ESPN Bet has better, because typically they do. But MGM is where we're going to track it for plus 100 odds. Pips, let's go to you. What are you liking about this play?
So, like every part of this bet looks great, and Brogdon over so far this season is completely smashing this line. So over the last uh, 10 games, he scored 15 plus in 9. Consistent, very consistent. Only one game where he was 1 point short. He's very consistent, as you can all guys see, between 18 and 20 points. Now getting the Pacers matchup, the best by far but for the overs, especially for point guards, as they allow a ton of pick and roll points to ball handlers. So this is a great spot. Also, Brogdon assists, high pace game, high total. Brogdon last couple of games with Scoot Henderson not being there or going off the bench, completely creating everything for them. He had easy game covering this assist against the Bucks last night, 17 potential assists. So if he gets 15 plus potential assists against this Indiana Pacers defense team, he should be easy to smash over both assists and on points. So yeah, that looks great for great matchup and great data to follow it up. And the under part with Bruce Brown also look great. If you take a look, Bruce Brown last 10 games didn't cover this in any single game, 10 straight unders. So if you look at the average, he's like barely 10 points average a game. Portland, not a good team, but they play slow and they play good defense. Their offense is probably the dead last in the league or second last, but their defense is actually average. They are a 50th track defense, and with slow pace, with single coverage, and they are allowing by far the least points to small forwards. So this look great for all three aspects of our combined bet. You can get this at minus 120 at bet365, but you get Bruce Brown under 17.5 points. That's with milestones and player higher line combined. So you can get minus 120, but 3 points more for Bruce Brown. So everyone that don't have BetMGM but have Bet365, I will go with that.
Yeah, and ESPN apparently has this for plus 122. So if you're in a state that has access to that, feel free to take
I would say
advantage.
like and for ESPN, I'll just probably go like Bruce Brown under 16.5 and still get plus 100. So I'll bet it there for sure.
All right. So if you have access to ESPN, of course, feel free to go over there and bet that. We try to we mix it up. Sometimes we go ESPN, sometimes we go to a more widely
I
available
try to
option like MGM.
not go there as often because this is a relatively new stuff. Not everyone has it, and also their limits are not great. I actually spoke with a ton of people, so it's kind of mixed stuff. Some said they can get $100 easily. Some had they are limited to what 45, 50. So it's kind of like random stuff. So when I have some other options with good pricing, I'll go with them. But always check ESPN. It always has the best price on the market. I'll honestly go far and say that every spot you can that looks decent, you can just use SGPs, embed it, and be profitable long term without thinking twice.
And what we're doing as well here, as far as the limits go, with we're playing SGPs. SGPs are typically a bit of a blind spot for sports books. They
Yeah,
like it's a willful blind spot. They sometimes just ignore a player. They assume that a same game parlay is not a typical positive expected value
sure.
play. So if they see somebody
Yeah.
playing SGPs, they're way less likely to limit people. So something to consider for sports books that are typically known for limiting you. Play your positive EV plays and just maybe make some SGPs out of them instead of, or some parlays out of them instead of just playing them straight. If getting limited is ever a concern for you at a specific sports
Also,
book.
like if for example, yesterday I shared one bet. It was Trae Young over and Tatum over combined on SGPs on Twitter. So if, for example, Tatum was 29.5 and Trae Young was 24.5. You can just mix. If they get you like to bet $50 on like straight, you can combine couple of lines together and get down like 400, 500 if you have a big unit size. So just
Right.
mixing and changing it, it will all if you like both over on every line, it will be a plus CV bet.
So there you go. A lot of reasons to go with the NBA SGPs like we've been doing on the show and doing so successfully. It was another winning day that we had on the show from Friday. Going to pull up the picks that we had for that show. But the two main SGPs that we had were winners, especially we had the 1.5 unit win on Nikola Jokic and Alperen Şengün. The only losing play was the big SGP. The big SGP run, unfortunately, comes to an end at 5 in a row. We're now 6-2 on the season, but this made for some very nice profit overall on the show. It was about 2.2 units of profit. First of all, let's go to the Jokic and Şengün play. This is the 1.5 unit play. Obviously, Rockets fan, you watch this one. Tell us about the game.
Probably one of the most confident bets I ever made. I followed it up with 1.5 unit on plus money. So we kind of made a huge profit there.
Yeah.
Same thing as the previous game. Single coverage on Jokic. Jokic was getting points easily inside, shooting a lot of threes, also making some. They were afraid of Jokic transition game, so they didn't contest any rebounds. Jokic was getting easily rebounds. I think he covered this at the halftime. Like no trouble. And this actually cashed like 1 minute into the second half. And we had three bets on two different players on a 1.5 unit, and it was so easy. Like,
Yeah.
and Şengün is just amazing. Like, if you love basketball and don't enjoy watching Şengün, I don't know what to tell to you. Like, this guy is like fun. Like, Baby Jokic all the way. Like, he just creates stuff, amazing stuff. So, like,
Yeah.
as a Houston Rockets fan, I really enjoy watching them every night. And Şengün was all doing amazing and easy cover.
Yeah, love that one there. I keep saying on the show, I've been a big Şengün fan for a while now. Was a fan of him pre-draft. Wanted the Raptors to get involved when he fell in the draft, but fortunately, you landed with him at the Rockets. Bit of a blemish, by the way. OKC actually drafted him and traded his draft right, so that's gonna be a bit of a blemish on the resume. They've had a lot of really good picks. They also have some draft day mistakes in the past. This is probably going to go down as one of them. But the other winning play was in the Raptors game. We had Barnes over assists. We had Barnes over rebounds and Schroeder under points. Dennis Schroeder shot 1 of 9 from 3, and we won by a hook. Finished with 17 points. This one was, I honestly couldn't believe Schroeder didn't go over the amount he was shooting and the shots that he was missing from 3. His usage has been pretty insane relative to like the talent around him, but Barnes pretty comfortable on his assists and rebounds. It's just Schroeder. Yeah, when I talk to us about Dennis Schroeder's role in this game and maybe how the Bulls defended Siakam in this game.
Yeah, that was the misconception on my part. Like I didn't expect them to defend Siakam like that, and it completely opened the game for Schroeder. They decided, okay, as I said on the show, he's not a shooter, and yeah, he's not a shooter. He went 1 from 9 from 3, but I didn't expect them to be like, oh, okay, Schroeder can shoot. Let's double Siakam of him and leave him wide open. Yeah. I don't know, man. Betting unders against the Bulls is always painful because you never know what to expect from those idiots there. So, I completely hate that organization and everything they do every single night. And yeah, I don't think I'll bet many unders against them this season, even though they have a good defense. They fuck around so much. When we had Shea, they were switching White on him. Now they were doubling Siakam inside and leaving Schroeder wide open. I mean, they still lost a game by double digits, but you never know what to expect from them, and that's the worst thing with sports betting in when you are doing a matchup-based stuff.
Yeah. He was on 15 for a while. I think he started the fourth quarter on 15, and he had a few wide open threes, which would have obviously gone to 18 that he missed. Yeah. He hit a layup with about 4 minutes to go. Fortunately, there was a late technical, and he usually takes the technical free throws. And he didn't. It was the last play of the game. DeRozan got ejected with 1 second left, and they let OG take it. But as soon as they got the tech, I'm like, oh my God, Schroeder's going to take it. It's going to go over. But thankfully, they let OG shoot.
He also already shot 2 technicals in the first half.
Yeah.
So that was also.
This felt like, we have some bets in the show that lose. We say that should have won. How did this not win? This is one that maybe shouldn't have won, but we'll take it. We take the win. Unfortunately, the big SGP was the loser on the day, but still, again, 2 point you do profits. Zubac on the rebound. Man. The only spot we lose. 3 out of 4.
Fucking Zubac. Yeah. This. He also played 22 minutes. When we had his under, he was playing 36 minutes. So he was this difficult loss. I thought he was at 5 with 9 minutes left, and I was like, okay, we will eventually probably get there. And then he was pulled out 2 minutes later, and they're small, and yeah, Zubac's not a lucky guy for us on the show this year. My guy not bringing cash.
Yeah, unfortunate. We're trying to help out with the Zubac plays. We're trying to bring up that country, but unfortunately have not.
Yeah, everything else covered pretty smoothly. Even Zubac points in so low minutes. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Alrighty. What we wanted to discuss today on the show, we did want to talk about the Houston Rockets. It's Pips' favorite team, of course. He's ready to do so, but they're 8-6. Their defense, last time I checked, best in the NBA in terms of defensive rating. A team that has so many new pieces. Alperen Şengün at center, who is not known to be a good defender. How have they put all of this together under Ime Udoka so quickly?
Udoka put them up for a success. He was okay, what area of player on this team is good at, and he put them in that position. Şengün is not a deep drop guy. If you put Şengün in a deep drop, he's small, he can't even contest. And we have a good point of attack with Brooks and Fred VanVleet, and we completely changed defensive scheme. So we are doing a bit of everything. We have athletic guys. Jabari Smith is playing a roaming role, which is kind of good for him. Şengün is being able, like, he's a bit higher in drop coverage. He's switching sometimes. And when he is drop coverage, it's not that difficult to be in a drop coverage when Brooks is point of attack or Fred VanVleet is point of attack. You just need to be there and contest. And yeah, I mean, Fred VanVleet, you are very familiar with his stuff, and he brought a lot of good stuff to the Rockets defense and also on offense. But we are talking about defense, so Dylan Brooks amazing on defense, like a pest. Tari Eason finally coming back helps tremendously. He's probably one of the best. Tate also underrated defender. So we have a bunch of good guys that can defend, good wings with size and athleticism. So yeah, we are in a spot to success. But it kind of looks weird when you have Şengün and Jabari Smith and Jalen Green, who are very young. But you just put Jalen Green on the worst offensive player for other team, and everyone else is competing, doing their best. So we kind of hide Jalen Green on defense, and everyone else can shine.
I mean, if you were tuning into our preseason shows, we were higher on the Houston Rockets in their 31.5 line. That certainly looks pretty good out of the gates at 8-6. You'd have to feel like they could get us at least 32 wins over there. That one's exciting.
We blown out Denver like champions. We are 2-0 against the champions. Like
Denver.
Yeah. We are so thoroughly happy with that.
It's nice. You can be excited about your basketball team. It's nice. It's a nice position for you to be in, especially like even understanding when a team is not good, like last year, but there was no real direction under Silas. The
thing about supporting this team last season was some of us knew that we could be better if we had a better coach. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's not like everyone on the team improved so much from the last season and now we are winning. It's about coaching, keeping the guys accountable. Like, Doka benched Jabari Smith 4 times in a row in the fourth quarter, and then he comes and plays for the best game of the career, probably of the season. He did the same thing to Jalen Green. Like, if you are not playing well, you won't get the minutes. No one is 100% sure to close the game, and that's the thing we love.
All right. One last thing here. There's a bit of a conversation going on in chat about some betting companies that void SGPs or parlays in general when one bet voids. So if one leg of your parlay voids, and the whole bet voids. So FanDuel, DraftKings would not void. Your parlay would just be the rest of the bets without that one being involved, the one that voids. MGM and ESPN actually void the entire bet if there is one specific spot that voids. So for typically, so I'll say my opinion first, and we'll go to Pips. Typically for SGPs, especially on this show, we find correlated plays, and that helps with the value of the bet. So when one play voids, it's actually more beneficial that the whole thing voids because they're correlated together most of the time. But I guess in some cases, if they're not correlated, that could be an issue. But I feel like you're better off with the SGPs voiding in that case. If it's a same game parlay like the ones we do, what do you think about that, Pips?
I completely agree with everything you said. Like, if I create, especially big SGPs, if I create one, if someone is out, I would love for it to be void. This exactly bet, like, I don't know, like, it's not correlated. So This is actually probably one of the rare spots to not be voided. But I will still love it. Like, when major part, let's say Brogdon is out, I don't want to sweat like Bruce Brown under 14.5 for entire unit for like 0.015 profit. Like, I will actually that's why I'm going with BetMGM more. So we have a SGP. If someone rules out, we have a void.
But a good point somebody makes in the chat, though, is if you have the points over or under or a spread, make sure you're on a 0.5 line on MGM or ESPN so that if everything wins except for that, you don't want to get the whole thing voided because it landed on an exact number. So something to keep in mind over there. All right, guys, we're going to recap the play that we have today. Thank you for the support. Again, we're above 50 likes. We appreciate it. Let's try to get to 75 for this one. Thank you so much for the support. We have a big a bigger episode coming tomorrow with a much better slate. And tomorrow we are going to have the big SGP involved tomorrow, as well as the end of the in-season tournament group stage. So big show coming tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed as well so you don't miss out on that one. But for today's show, the one play that we have is in the Blazers-Pacers game. We're hoping Brogdon has a big night for 15+ points and 5+ assists. And we have Bruce Brown under 14.5 points. Again, that's plus 100 at BetMGM. You can get higher points on Brown at 365 for more juice, minus 120. You can take an ESPN play. This exact one is plus 122. Or you can go up to 15 or 16 points in Bruce Brown to get still at plus 100. Whichever you do, this is the one we're going to track. You could play around with this one by going to different sportsbooks as well. Easiest way, as we always say, to maximize your profits as a sports bettor is to use an odds comparison tool and to compare lines. To take advantage of those lines, you need to be signed up to the sportsbook available in your region. Use our QR code in the top right corner of the screen, or the links in the description, or the one in chat to sign up to those sportsbooks. Just scan it, just click on the link, see what's available in your region to make sure you're always getting the best prices. As we always say, win more on your winners, lose less on your losers. Me and Pips will be back tomorrow right here for more from Pick and Roll. We very much hope to see you there, and we'll have the big SGP ready. Thank you so much, everybody.